What's up, y'all? The growth on you. So, a lot of you that's putting in the time and putting in the effort to heal, you are becoming a force to be reckoned with because you are starting to love the growth on you. Starting out from where you were, you couldn't see the growth, you couldn't feel the growth, you couldn't imagine the growth because you were in the growth. You were a growth in process, a growth in progress. But now, since you've grown and you've went farther ahead, you could look back and you can see the growth and you can see what growth looks like and you feel what growth looks like. And your growth is triggering a lot of people because a lot of people don't want to change. A lot of people don't want to grow. It's more easier for them to try to come over there and stump on your growth or steal your energy or do something to sabotage you. But it's much more harder to turn inward and look at themselves and look in the mirror and see what they don't like and get somewhere and get some growth planning and getting some growth started. They're going to do everything but that. But back to you and your growth, what it looks like. Um, Now since you're growing and you are able to look at yourself or you are able to deal with yourself in such a way and you feel way more better about yourself than you did yesterday and the day before and the week before and the month before or the year before, however long you've been on your growth journey, you see old things, you see old situations, you see old you see you and older past loves in different people now. If you were desperate at that time before you started growing, you wouldn't have known that you were desperate for anything because you were desperate. You see what I'm saying? If you were anything that has to do with low vibration, you wouldn't have felt that. You wouldn't have understood that. You wouldn't have understood how you were moving and how you were self-sabotaging because you was always somewhere being that, being destructive, being an issue for others, being an issue for yourself. But now since you're able to look out at different people and look out at different situations, it's easier for you now to pinpoint where other people are in their lives. Not that you're judging them, but just because that used to be you. And now you're learning to use these things as tools. You know, and when you look out, you're going to see a lot of people that's miserable and trapped in their bodies due to self-sabotaging, due to not wanting to deal with themselves. You're going to see a lot of people forcing things that you wouldn't force. You would have then, but you won't now. You'll be able to look at the timing of these situations. You'll be able to look at the people that's coming together that call themselves in love, and you know that that's something out of desperation. That's something that's been forced. You'll be able to look at things and situations and say, that's not a good idea, because you're no longer that person that sat at zero anymore. You have rose above ground. So now you can look down, or you can stand and you can look far back and you can see things And it's not hard to see how people get twisted up, or how people allow themselves to go in a spiral, or how people self-sabotage themselves, because that's the whole thing. When you don't allow time for growth, you aren't yourself. You're somebody else, and you are the worst version of yourself, which makes you do things that you wouldn't do, which makes you act ways you wouldn't act, which make you say things you wouldn't say, which make you get involved with people you normally wouldn't get involved with, which makes you get in situations that you know aren't right, but you ain't give a thought about them being right, because you're not there to monitor yourself whether something is right or wrong. You're just acting accordingly to how you feel. But I wanted to bring this up because with you growing, I just kind of want you to watch your environment, because the more you grow taller, the more the grass grows taller, the more snakes come in the yard. All the slithering going on about what you have that you worked hard for. And none of this is materialistic. Just things that you've worked for on yourself, as far, as your happiness, as far as your peace, as far as your pride, as far as your character, as far as your demeanor, everything that makes you are who you are today turns on your light, lifts you up a little bit higher, and elevates you a little more, and it causes friction for the thieves and the robbers and the crooks, because you look like an easy target, but you're far from easy. That's not the problem. The problem is people gonna try that. People gotta try it anyway. They gotta try. People gotta try. So I just want you to stay doing what you're supposed to be doing. Stay on your growth path, because a lot of these people are going to start separating from you, or you're going to start separating from these people because you're vibrating too high. Your frequency is too high, which means that y'all are going totally different routes. You are going totally different routes from people that's not growing, from people that's not elevating, people that's not on the same level as you. But I just want you to know that the snakes are out there trying to knock the light out of your hand, or trying to steal the trophy, trying to bring you down with them, trying to put you back in the bucket. They're trying to do anything because you're sleeping at night and they're not. But at first they had it where you wasn't sleeping and they were. Whatever other people around you are going through, it has nothing to do with you, but they will continuously try to come together in groups and sabotage you. But all they are doing is sabotaging themselves. But this is just a friendly reminder to stay vigilant, to stay awakened, and just, monitor your surroundings every now and then. But it won't have to be for long, because after a while you're getting ready to shoot off. And I think that's why they are attacking more and attacking harder, because they know that you have something that they don't have. But the thing is, they could get what you have. They want what you have, but they not going to grow what you have. And they not going to take what you have either. But they got to try. But I just want to say congratulations. Keep doing well. Keep standing in the light. Keep monitoring your growth every now and then, not all the time, because a boiled pot doesn't boil. But every blue moon, you'll be able to look back at things and be able to deal with things better, or be able to see how, that went down, or be able to see where you made a mistake for inviting someone into your life. And you'll just be able to pinpoint these things, all due to your growth. And I just want to let you know that your growth looks good on you. I love you. Mwah.